It seems public housing projects can be built beautifully. Today I'm going to show you how that's done. We are also turning our attention to our services area. We're adding a lot of new services and details. So open up your game and build along if you want to start detailing like this. Hello everyone and welcome back to this new episode of City Skylines 2. We have still named this city. Name me in the comments. I will be checking those comments after this episode, and I hope you have left me some suggestions so we can start naming this city. For this episode we do have some nice things in mind. I see we have left some some pathways here unconnected, so I will start doing that. And while I'll do that, I am going to explain what we will be doing today, because we have a lot of demands. I see we have since our last milestone we got the high density residential demand, which seems a little bit odd to me, because when we looked at our residential zones, there is the high density housing, which is not yet available. So that is only available from milestone 8. So that's kind of weird. Maybe they do mean the low rent housing, or maybe the low rent housing is a viable option for this as well, but who knows, we'll see. Let me just finish building these trees here as well a little bit, and we can start looking at what are we going to do today. Besides the residential demand, I think it is quite fitting to indeed take a look at the residential demand, or fulfill that demand. But also we have some specialized industry available. There's not that much industrial demand at the moment. I think it's quite nice to see if we can start building some specialized industry. And I want to take you to the city statistics, because in this the city economy overview, because in this overview we can see what kind of raw materials we are importing. As you can see here on the left, we have the different kinds of materials, so wood, grain, livestock, fish, etc. And the consumption here, for example, for wood is 8.36 tons, but for grain it's almost it's over 26 tons. And the red indicates there is a deficit, so the deficit is being imported from outside. Which means if we start placing down some industry, we are going to be able to fulfill our own demands, and of course we are going to be able to have the production of the entire chain within our city limits, which is quite nice. And in the meantime, let's look at extending our city a little bit. I wanted to unlock the roundabouts so we can build some pre-built big roundabouts. And when thinking about where we should place our industry area, we are going to look at our natural resources tab, and it's quite a bit it's quite nice. Looking at it, we can see we have some fertile lands over here. We have a lot of fertile land back here outside of the city limits, so we might need to buy some extra tiles here. But we also have a lot of natural resources here, and we have, of course, a lot of ore here, but also do we have some wood here available? I think we do, because I think those trees just provide the resources just like they did in CS1. We might think about going in this direction for our farms, but I don't think that is a great option, because this is such a nice big area to build with. I do want to leave this open for some city expansions. And of course, we are going to try to build this way towards the train station towards the train tracks in the future. So for now, let's start by extending our city a little bit towards the forestry area right here, and make sure we have some possibilities to build some industry over there. And how are we going to do that? I unlocked the bigger roundabout. So what I'm going to do is build one of those roundabouts on this avenue right here. And I see there's only two options to place it, which is it snaps to the nodes, I guess, of the end of the road there, which is fine. So we'll make sure we have our four-lane roads going out of this roundabout in a nice 90-degree angle, and we can later continue this road all the way down there and see how that develops. But also on the other side, I want to go with a 90-degree angle, and there we go, and start opening up this area here for some construction. And I think it is nice if we make sure that we go a little bit in this direction, so we do have some space on the right side to build our industry area, and drag this avenue in a nice right 90-degree angle this way. And so we have, looking at our natural resources panel, we have we open up the agricultural areas and of course the forestry areas, and in between it does make sense to me that we build some of those low rent housing, because we have our manufacturing industry right here, we'll have the forestry industry over there, so it only makes sense to me that the people live close to their jobs, which is of course the industry. And for our forestry, and there we go, we do have some forest fires. I'm not sure where they are, but let's take a look. There it is. It's without out of our city limits, so we don't have to worry about that, really. And yeah, let's continue building this small forestry area, and it's not going to be too big because, like I said, we don't have a lot of industrial demand at the moment, so I assume we are not. I want to branch this off a little bit earlier, so we don't have a lot of demand yet, so I'm not sure if this industry area will be built or filled in as we build it. And there we go. And yeah, I haven't built a specialized industry area before, so I'm not really sure how this will work, but we'll see how it goes. We do have in our industry or in our zoning tabs, we have the specialized industries available. And as you can see, we can build the forestry industry. And it is great. The forestry industry is a renewable resource. So there is, it shows already the production deficit of about 7 tons, which is a little bit higher than we had just seen, and there is a resource available, so we can place it down here. This is a nice looking asset. I think it's quite okay, but what we need to do is make sure our area for the forestry industry is big enough. So let's take a look. Harvestable resource is 21.8 tons. That should be sufficient looking at our deficit. But let's just make this area go all the way up until the hillside over there, and make sure it is big enough for future demands as well. And we're going to build a nice big area. And as we can see, it made a nice area for our forestry area. And as we can see, there is no storage yet. There's no vehicles in use. Yeah, well, we are going to come back here in a later moment and see how this develops. In the meantime, let me place down some more trees in this area. And we are going to use some of the European trees as well here. I think, which do we have here? The poplar trees. Let's find the poplars. Linden, London Plane, hickory, of course. And there it is. All right, we can't place it within this zone anymore, which is fine, I guess. That's not how I expected it to be, but let's make sure around our forestry area there's a little bit more dense forest. I think that does make sense. Let's place down some chestnuts as well, and let's have it a little bit bigger. There we go, and of course some of our North American trees like the lindens, and there we go, a nice dense forestry area. And this looks great. This is the production capacity. It already has 3 employees. It doesn't seem like a lot for this area, and we are already making a profit. That is quite nice to see. And for the other side here, I have seen we do have the power cables not connected. This is the external power cables, of course. So let's just connect those up, and I think this makes it possible for us to export the surplus of power that we have. So let's take a look at our budget. And of course, the services tool, and there we go. Export is now at 0. I'm not sure if we can build a contract or something, or if it goes automatically, but we'll see. We'll come back to this in a bit. Let's take a look at our electricity production. We do have a surplus of about 2 megawatts. So if the excess is automatically sold, we'll see our budget going up in a small amount in the near future. And for our regular farming industry, let's take a look at our availability here. And I'm not sure what the effect is of this manufacturing industry on our farming industry. It doesn't really make sense to me to have some polluting industry right next to our farming industry. I'm not sure if that is an in-game mechanic we should be worried about. I don't think it is. But let's just start by placing down our roads here, and I'm going to go 90 degrees off of this road and make sure this connects up right there. I want to have it at like a 90-degree angle. There we go, and it connects right up there. And I'm just laying down the contour lines for our farming industry here, so we know where our natural resources are. And there we go, and it doesn't have to be too big because the demand is not that high, I assume. And of course, I am going to build a small frontage road, if that is what it's called, where we can start our main building out of. Yeah, I'm used to the Farmlands DLC from City Skylines 1, which makes it a hell of a lot more profitable. And here we do have the same. As in the forest industry, it says there is resources available, and we have to build our area here. And we're going to draw this alongside of the road. But like I was saying, I do miss the Farmlands DLC from City Skylines 1 because, yeah, you can build very nice farm areas with specialized buildings and such, and I'm not sure if we have those here, because it really looks like we just place down this area and it brings us farms. And that's not too bad, but we have to take a look at what we are going to do. Overlapping items I see, well, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, that's the power line, of course. Yeah, let's remove the power line for now. There we go. Let's pause the game. Power line is gone, and we're going to redo that if that's possible on this side of the road. It doesn't look all that nice, but it doesn't really matter to me at this point. And let's start by dragging our not really used to placing down these industry areas just yet, but there we go. And we do have a lot of farmable area here, so let's just make sure it connects up to the road. I do like this part of the game, where we can just draw in the zones and we have a nice big area. I think for now this is good enough. I think the bigger the area, the bigger the expenses are for maintaining that area. But this should be good enough. Yeah, looking good. And of course, we said we do have some demand in our residential zones as well. And let's see if we can place down some of those buildings in between these areas right here. And we are going to build off of this road again. So let me just fill in some roads in the road layout here. So here we have a small road layout, and yeah, we're not going to make this too big or extensive. I want to have this sort of it's low rent residential we're going to place down, so it needs to have that vibe a little bit as well. And which means we are going to leave some space between those houses for the parking spaces, for some sports fields, and everything to make it look a little bit realistic. We did have the low rent housing available, so let's take a look at those. Medium density housing, and there we go. These are the low rent housing, large apartment buildings with small affordable apartments. Yeah, let's just see how those look. I'm not going to fill those in with the fill, but we're going to be changing those around a little bit on the edges and in the spaces between. Obviously, we're going to, like I said, build some amenities for the people living here. And obviously, we are going to leave some space for paths as well. And I think I want to connect this area up with paths as well, because here we do have our school, and we want those people and those kids to be able to walk up there or even bike up there. Excuse me. So we have some other options for the low rent housing, not only the regular low rent housing, but also the Dutch, and now French, Chinese, and the Eastern European. And we have also missed or did not place down the regular, let's see, base pack, which is it? I'm not really used to how this works because it doesn't really work like I want it to be. The North American medium density housing. We do have the row housing already in this city, but not yet the regular medium density housing. So let's just see what pops up if we build those blocks. And I'm not sure if we want to place that on this road. Well, why? Yeah, they're using it as a through road, which is okay for now. There we go. And our excuse me, our medium density demand has been fulfilled already. Here we can see what grows in these spots. These are very large apartment blocks, which I do think are great in this area. So let's just keep those in here. I want to remove these trees a little bit so we can see where we are building the rest of our neighborhoods. There we go. I do miss the forest brush tool from City Skylines 1, where we could just get different trees in and see what grows in. For this area, we want to have some parking spaces available. Of course, there is some parking already on these buildings, but let's just make sure there is a little bit more space for that. And I want to have this modest parking lot, or is this a nice area for a large? No, the large parking lot is way too big. Moderate parking lot is way too big. Medium parking lot too. So yeah, I think this modest parking lot is quite okay if we place that down here. And we place down one of those on this end, I guess, and we have some space there to build something else. And of course that fits quite nicely, but the medium gravel parking lot, no, a long parking lot fits in great here as well. And I think this should be fine. We are going to need some parking spaces on the real town as well. And while we are at it, let's just take a look at the parking spaces here. They look great, if I may say so. And in between these areas, I think it is only fitting to have some more amenities for our citizens. A small skate park. This one looks great and fits in nicely in this area. And of course a basketball court, or maybe two basketball courts. No, they don't fit right next to each other, but that's fine because they do fit here. And I'm just going to place it smack in the middle. And of course our people here also want something to play on, and let's start with a basketball court here as well. And I'm not going to have it snap on. I do want it snapped on the road, but I don't want to have it snapped on the zones. Well, there we go. And as we did that, we have unlocked our next milestone, the tiny town, which is great. 5 more progression points. We have a lobster tail, a nice steakhouse, and yeah, this also opens up the North American and the EU mixed housing. That is awesome. The development tree for communications, for post offices, mail delivery. And we're going to have to take a look at that at a later stage, because we are still working on this small build area here. And look how much taller these buildings are than the medium density housing that we have built over there. All right, and for this area, I'm not really done yet with placing down the things I want. We have I thought we were in a sunny place building this, but 16 degrees Celsius in the summer isn't all that well. There we go. So here we placed down enough of those buildings, and I'm not sure if I like this building on the curved part of the road here, so we're just going to erase that. I'm sorry, you are going to have to be building something new in the future. And we have some space left on this road here as well for some extra development. And let's see if we can place down some of those alleyways off of this road again and make sure we have some more medium density housing on the back of those. And I'm not going to connect this up right here because that is a little bit too close to the intersection. And there we go. And we are going to remove the zoning from this. There we go. So we have a nice block to...
Just pick a nice, juicy one.
Oh, all right.
There we go. And we can fill this in with some medium density housing if I am not mistaken. Let's see where we go. We did place down the medium density housing here as well. This is the medium density housing block, which is quite big as well. So I'm just going to go for some...
They're keeping a lid on it.
Well, there is a demand again for medium density housing, but I think I am going for the...
Those walking corpses collecting benefits on their own death?
Yeah, let's just go for the
for a zombie outbreak.
North American
metal music.
They like it?
Oh, very much so. And eat a good healthy breakfast
I can't only
beforehand, in case you
select
have to
this one.
run
That's a shame.
Now that is good advice.
Where is it? Where is it?
We're
This
listening
one,
to the
North
less
American
relaxed.
density row housing,
Industry in the
but we
region
want
is
to go
on the
for those
rise,
big
and
apartment
when
blocks
business
again.
is doing well, that
Oh, and we
floats
have
our
it right
boat.
here.
There's no sinking this boat, Glenda.
And let's see if we can
Interesting news from the city's export division.
place some of
Sources
those.
tell us that our city has more services than we know what to do with.
And you know what that
And
means, folks.
perhaps we
It
can
means
also
we're
place
not
down some
cutting
of those
big
row
corners.
houses
No,
again.
the point is we are selling
On
it,
this
bringing
area
money into local
That's
trade.
right
You
here
could almost say
and
it's
between
too
those
much
blocks.
of
I'm
a
not sure
good
how
thing.
this will fill in, but we'll just
We're
take a look and
enjoying
we'll
positive
see.
trade balance, and the economy is
The
booming.
residential suitability on this
More
road is
optimism.
bad, it seems, according to my my graph here. But there we go. Let's see how that fills in. And we're going to have a small building block right here. What really doesn't really make sense to me right now is all these parked cars on the street. Can I just make sure they don't park here anymore? Or is it necessary for me to just place down more parking lots? Yeah, I don't really want to have this parking lot on the bend road like that and not too close to the corner, so let's make sure we branch a small alleyway off of this and have this alleyway go behind these apartment blocks so we can have some space for parking again. And let's see, a small parking lot makes sense here, and there we go. I really do miss my Move It mod because I wanted to place this a little bit closer to that apartment block, but it's okay. We can live with this. And while we're at it, we are going to place down some paths in the middle as well. And I'm not going to... There we go. Well, while this is developing, I see we have also developed some demand for offices, some more commercial demand, but let's not go for that too fast. Let's take a look at our small farming area right here. So you can see a lot of profit, a lot of storage. How much are we producing? 28.16 tons, which is great. That is awesome. And here we are producing 17.4 tons, and there's a lot of income, which means our balance is going up and up, and I love that. There is an ambulance waiting here, so let's take a look at our services. Of course, in our previous episode, we lowered down the finances of these services, but we can bring that up to speed as well. All right. For now, let's take a look at this one doesn't have road access, and why is that? This building doesn't have road access. That seems weird. We zoned this building, right? So no car access. That's weird. Well, if you don't have any road access, then just go and rebuild, and we'll see if you have road access after that. And it seems there's a lot of parking on the streets here as well, and let's see if we can place down another parking lot, because I do like that a lot more. The long parking lot, where are you? No, that's not the one I want. Let's take a look at it. We do have a lot more parking options available, but yeah, we're not going to use that. Large parking lot, no. Canopy. Let me look for it. Oh, there we go. It doesn't fit here. The basketball court is in the way. Let's see if we can move these a little bit over. And it still makes a connection to the road, and this one too. And let's place down a long parking lot as well. And what I was saying, we have to take a look at detailing this area, because this is not feeling really cohesive or coherent at the moment. And filling up these two small blocks as well with some medium density row housing. There we go. And here as well. And we do have some more a zone for our low rent housing, it seems. And I want to delete this small building. There we go. And make sure that it's a big building. All right. Well, let's take a look and start detailing this area.
Already a half hour in, and I do hope you enjoy these kind of builds. And while I detail, I just wanted to ask you, if you do like this type of content, please like and subscribe, and that would help me a lot. Thank you very much.
right, seems we have some power troubles. I wasn't aware of that. So while detailing, I just looked at our city and wow, power, where are you? So let's take a look at that. The services, of course, we have placed or lowered our power production to 70%. So let's bring that back up to 100%, and that seems to have fixed our issues. Well, it is also a nice break from this detailing. Let's take a look. We have, of course, made a small little square within this area next to our parking lots and our activity playgrounds. And of course, we placed down a lot of greenery around. And I think this isn't ready yet, of course. We do need to look at that a little bit more. But what I wanted to take a look at here is all the pedestrians going up to our main area here, which makes it very nice to see if we can take a look at the traffic routes. Do we have an overview for that? I'm not sure if we do. We do have the traffic. Let's see traffic. Now I can't select this road. Yeah, I need to find out how that works, because I do want to make sure we can see how these people go or where they are going. And in the meantime, let me place down a path between those blocks here as well, so our people can walk there if they need to. Yeah, I'm just going to drag that all across, and I need my straight tool for that as well. And what I also noticed while detailing, well, I didn't notice it while detailing, but I thought about it while detailing, is our education. We do have only placed down a elementary school, and our city economy our balance is going quite well at the moment. So let's take a look at the statistics, and of course can we find it? Our employment rate, it is not here, it seems. There's no employment rate. There's the jobs and workers employment, but yeah, what we want, of course, is some more high school availability, at least, and a little bit of high school availability. So I think this is a great time to take a break from the detailing and, of course, make sure we have our high school in place. And if we go to our education tab, we do see we have a lot of high schools available, but at the moment we do not have enough cash for most of those, which is kind of sad, but also not too bad, because we do have enough space for, or enough money for, the small high school. And while I misspoke, I said we have enough space for the small high school, but it doesn't seem like we do. So we're going to have to figure something out. And we are going to do that, of course, by making sure that this road is this one is placed a little bit farther away, and this, I see this entry road is on the right side, while this entry road was on the left side, which is great. So I think we can place it down, not here, because we want it to turn around.
This is an emergency broadcast to all citizens.
There we go. So we have those on the right side again, and let's make sure our firehouse is placed over there. And then it is possible to place down the high school. Very nice. The only problem is, of course, we do not have enough space here for extensions on the high school. Or we don't have any more space for, what is it, the gymnasium, which isn't a bad thing for now, but we are still, this is still a small area right here, and yeah, it's fine. But we're going to have to look at a new high school spot for later, and this small high school here is amazing looking. So that is great. While I was browsing through the parks and stuff while detailing this other area here, I noticed we have some nice little parks we could be placing around this area. But I see we do have a lot of traffic jams, traffic accidents, and it seems our city is filling up. At least this central area is filling up a little bit. So let's take a look at what happens here. A lot of traffic in this area. Let's see if we can find out where they are going. If we select this road, I can see the info panel. And here we have the toggle traffic routes. And it isn't very clear how the traffic routes are going. I think it could be a little bit more clear. But we see a lot of traffic going around here, a lot of traffic on this area, but still a lot of traffic going here to the left and
Pending updates to
yeah,
our power grid, the city
a lot
will
of
be
traffic going here
experiencing
to the
rolling
right,
blackouts.
and
We urge the
it
public
seems
to
they are
remain
going to
calm
our
during these breaks in service
commercial
and
areas as
follow
well.
guidelines on the city's website on how to plan for
Let's
these
see if we can
events.
fix
This has
that.
been a local public service
There's a
announcement.
traffic jam. And it is also backing up right here. So I think removing these traffic lights here should be an option, because if you look at it, there is no traffic going from left or right. So I think we might get away with placing down a small roundabout here to improve traffic flow
You're
a
already
little bit.
hypnotized, kid.
Yeah, that's going to delete
You mean right now?
this small.
That's all part of the effect.
See if we have a smaller
I'll tell
one.
you what. On
No,
the
I
count
think
of
we're going to
three,
have to
I'll snap my
remove
fingers.
All right.
this
One,
medical clinic a little bit and not on
three.
this side.
Anything?
No, I think I feel about the same.
Still hypnotized.
And I had it on
Oh no.
right,
Stay
but
tuned. We'll be right back.
there we go. So we do have some room now for a small roundabout,
The commercial
and
district is booming,
we also
as
have
the
some room
area
for
is
a bigger
attracting
roundabout, I
more
think.
high-end stores,
And
bringing the
I
latest
see
in
we have
luxury to our neighborhood. You can
this
now
small
shop for
road here as
designer
well.
shoes while sitting
And
at
I don't
fancy
want to delete
local
the entire
Chevrolet
road, so I'm
Monte,
just going to
or so my
delete
wife
this
tells me.
small
That's
house,
good for business and good
delete
for
the
the
end,
community.
and delete that end.
Thanks, Jude. We'll be
And
back
of
after
course, let's see if the
Industry in the
roundabout
region is
fits
on
in
the
right
rise,
now.
and when
This one
business
fits.
is doing
Do we have
well,
something bigger that
floats
fits?
our boat.
There's
Very
no
large
sinking this
roundabout. It
boat,
doesn't
Glenda.
seem like we want a very
Warm
large
temperatures
roundabout. A
across the region
large
today.
roundabout
Hope
with
everybody out there
an
has a good
asymmetric center. So invalid shape. Okay, well, fair enough. Invalid shape there as well. Well, let's just use this one. This one fits in here as quite nicely. And one of the perpetrators could be this small intersection here as well. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm not going to delete this house, but I'm going to make a small extension on this part so I can delete this without deleting the entire road. And they do have access from this side, which should be sufficient for now. Seems our traffic jam hasn't really been sorted yet by this roundabout, but let's just give it some time and see if that fixes it. Yeah, and looking at it, I think it is nice if we have another connection into this part of the city. And I think we can do that by extending this 4-lane road here downwards and around to this roundabout. I'm not sure if that would solve anything, and it's funny, we only have one outside connection, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we have only one outside highway connection, so everything has to come through this road. up until we have built some trains. So what I'm going to do is, unfortunately for these people living on this street, is delete these roads, houses I mean, and build a 4-lane road through their neighborhood, because we all know more roads equals better traffic flow. That is obviously sarcastically, but that's fine. It is a weird intersection now because we have this bouncy castle park here and a pathway which collided with our road. Yeah, and I think I'm just going to delete this pathway here and drag in this road with a straight connection right here. Is this... Yeah, either way it's going to be off center, so we're going to redo this. There we go. There is no shame in redoing or rebuilding something which didn't turn out as it needed to turn out. There we go, and we have deleted this road here as well, which we are going to place back for our residential area right here. These buildings are gone already, and of course I don't want these to zone on our main avenue. Okay, we just needed some time, I think, because our traffic jam has dissolved. I think that is part of the evening and morning commute. All right, I think for now, let's take a look at what we are going to do. And yeah, I checked what can we still do, because I just looked at the amount of video time we had, and I think we're about 45 minutes in, and I don't want this episode to be too long. Because I don't want to bore you out. No, that's not the case. I want to be sure that the episodes are still manageable and watchable. So for now, we don't have too much time left. What we are going to do is connect this part up. This is quite the slope, so I'm going to soften this terrain a little bit more. And I think we are going to end up with a small detailing bit. And is this going to be okay? Let's see. This is a nice 13% slope. Yeah, that's not going to work, I guess. Let's take a look. Way too steep, so we are going to drag this out a little bit and then make sure that it is workable. So I use slope terrain tool instead. I think that works a little bit better than the soften terrain tool. And this is much better with around 6%, and there we go. It makes a nice little retaining wall here. I do like it, so that's why I left it. And this is going to connect up to that road, of course, but let's continue this one and let's do this one out and connect these up right there. That's a nice one. Yeah, like I said, we are going to end up with some detailing, and I'm going to set my attention to this part. And of course, let's get this some greenery around here as well. And we'll save this area for next episode, because I am not really too happy with how these buildings fit, these row houses next to those big giant apartment blocks. So that's it. All right. So here we are. Finished this with some more greenery, and I must say this looks amazing. Trees look good. I think the buildings are placed quite nicely aside of each other, and perhaps we need to delete this one, but for now it is good. It seems like a nice little neighborhood here with enough enough green space and enough open spaces to play and the such. I was messing around with the ground tool a little bit, or the so I just I couldn't remove all of this ground from this park, so I just made sure the ground was extended, and on the other side of the road as well. Added some trees, of course, and we made a small outside theater area for our middle school, or our our elementary school. So that is it. I think we have done a lot this episode, and I am very proud of what we did. So I hope to see you all next episode. Thank you for watching.